cold front, or just ahead of a cold front that's moving through here. So let me know when you get one of those RDOT cameras along I-55. I want to come back to that here in a minute. But again, I want to reemphasize when it comes down to Shelby County, you're starting to see it moving into northern Shelby County as far as the strongest storm is concerned. It's now moving into the city of Millington, and we may have taken a power hit up there in Millington. So,
is there any rotation?
No.
Okay,
no.
so that's good.
This is all straight line wind. I'll go back over to the shear rate, and when it looks like this, you know, sometimes we look at we see things like this, and we're like, oh my goodness, there's no rotation, because if I go over to velocity to try to correlate that, it doesn't make sense.
Got it.
So this is more so straight line winds moving through Crawfordsville over towards Marion, probably some 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts approaching there. That's part of the outflow boundary, but we're about to get this storm, kind of the front face of it, starting to head into the city of Memphis. I'd say probably within the next 20 minutes or so.
There's no outages in the MLGW coverage area. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Delayed reports. I have a sneaking suspicion, just based off of what I'm looking at right here.
Yeah.
That camera I was looking at just went down. So I wouldn't be surprised that very shortly we'll see that pop up there around Millington.
Okay.
So let me put this, down to the south and east to kind of give you an idea of when this will hit Memphis itself. So again, the line of storms that's moving down to the south and east that partially prompted the severe thunderstorm warning. This would move into Midtown and downtown in about 20 minutes, about 20-ish minutes from downtown. You see Mud Island 525, downtown 527, Memphis Zoo, so that'd be Midtown 529, Beale Street 529, Tomley Park 530, Germantown, so now we're talking southeastern Shelby County now, 543. So we're starting to get this to make some better progress down towards the south and east, because it was hung up for a long time north of I-40. Put this into a loop over the last couple of hours, and you'll notice this started at 1:30 in the morning. And see how one cluster of storms came through, busted up, and started moving down to the south and east. And then a secondary batch, this is what we're dealing with right now, came in behind it and met up with it. So we've had two waves of storms, and that's why I said if you're in Tipton County, it's been loud for about 6 hours now up that way, maybe even a little bit longer. But now we're starting to see the southern progression of the line of storms. That means that we're finally getting a move on here. But you see how this really didn't have a lot of southern progression here until the last couple of frames. We're starting to see things starting to make faster progress down to the south as the front's working its way farther down to the south. Let's go over to, let me go back over and get into Max really quickly. Let me pull that up. And I want to go and look at what's happening with our, let me pull that up, with our Futurecast really quick, because I want to get you ahead of this line of storms. So let's go over to Max 1. And again, you're going to see this line of storms make a progress down to the south and east. That's 8 o'clock this morning. If that's correct, we're talking the Highway 6 corridor.
Yeah.
So we're talking Clarksdale, Marks, Batesville, Oxford. By that point, Memphis will be drying out. Storms will come to an end for most of the Mid-South, if not the entire Mid-South, by lunchtime today. If maybe 9, 10 o'clock in most instances. Behind it, sky's starting to clear out. The temperatures come popping back up in the upper 80s, near 90. A few spotty downpours possible as we head through the evening hours. Now, these spotty downpours will just be that. Very similar to what you've seen the last couple of days. But, we've got to get past this mess this morning. That will be quite active, and like I said, it may take a little time before it all clears out of here.
Entergy in Arkansas is not reporting too many outages at this time. So the main outages that we are seeing in our area has to deal with Tipton County. We're looking at Jackson, Tennessee, but that's primarily where those outages are, not in Shelby County and not in Arkansas Entergy, at least at the moment.
Yeah, and it looks like some of the outage numbers have kind of come and gone here in the last little bit. Of course, that's over a loop over the last little bit. So, we have fantastic technology here at Action News 5. Market exclusive here. Show you the power outages. This is kind of conglomeration of the power outages. So it's not every single one, but it at least gives you an idea. And I would not be surprised, just based off of what I saw there up in Millington, Would not be surprised if we lost power, at least for part of Millington. So let's go back over to the radar and again track the storm down to the south. So now Millington, you're fully in it now, and Arlington's now in it as well. The strongest winds are still lagging behind that stuff in Arlington. So not by much, but you're starting to see the wind starting to pick up from Brunswick to Bolton, up towards Rosemark this morning, and then that's moving down towards the south and east. That's going to head out towards Lakeland, Canada Road area, Arlington, as you're heading out along Highway 70, and eventually out towards Galloway here, probably within the next 15 minutes. So I'd say probably maybe 10 minutes in Galloway. So for our friends in Galloway, Braden, up towards Mason as well, strong winds moving in your area. Technically, you see the city of Bartlett not included in that, but if you live in North Bartlett, I'm talking like Old Brownsville Road area of Bartlett, as you're heading up going up Germantown Road, heading back up towards the north, that area of Bartlett is included in that warning, but the city, downtown Bartlett, is not included in that warning. But again, you've got a line of showers and thunderstorms that is pushing out the wind. Now remember, I told you, as this was moving through, you're going to see the transition. Because again, the which way the winds are blowing mode is all in correlation to where it is in relation to the radar site. So the greens are heading towards the radar site, the reds moving away from the radar site. So as the storm's moving away from the radar site, now the winds are blowing in the same direction down towards the south and east. So away from the radar site, and that's why we're seeing the winds picking up here across portions of northern Shelby County. It's not terrible, could be worse. 39-mile-an-hour winds, 40. And these are radar estimates. So again, 30, 40-mile-per-hour gusts potentially here, moving across Brunswick Road and heading out towards, going down Highway 70, coming past Bartlett, going up towards Arlington this morning, back out towards Galloway. That area, we're seeing the strongest winds. And I wish we had a couple of more cameras out along 385. I only know of two, and we'll get to that here in a second. Let's go out to the I-55 camera. This is going to be in Joyner, right? All right, so let's take that camera. This is going to be in southern Mississippi County. And a completely different story than about 30 minutes ago. We took this camera, and we're looking north. You can see the clear line behind it.
So okay, yeah. So you could see the sun that's kind of coming out behind the clouds there.
Yeah, that's the clear line behind it.
Yeah, and as we reported, Patrick, Entergy in Arkansas has very little outages, if any. And so what's interesting is that you mentioned that a lot of lightning as we're seeing here, some wind gusts there around 20, 30 miles an hour, but that's about it. There's no rotation that we're seeing. This storm is moving from Arkansas into northwest Tennessee, parts of Shelby County, Millington, as we continue our weather coverage here. We're going on 1 hour since this severe thunderstorm warning that continues for our area here. As we've been mentioning, the most power outages, wow, look at that.
Yeah.
The most power outages are that we are seeing in Tipton County, parts of Madison County, Jackson, Tennessee, but primarily the Tipton County, that north of I-40, West Tennessee area. That's where we're seeing the most outages. But again, those outages around 700, 750 maybe, homes and businesses without power. One outage in the MLGW coverage area. That's it.
And hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah.
But like I said, just based off of what I see, it's about a 15-minute delay, I think, between when the power outages happen to when MLGW actually gets it on their thing. So it may take a little time. But I have a sneaking suspicion that there's going to be power outages up around Millington here very shortly. I'm going to put this into 3D mode and kind of give you an idea of what these storms kind of look like from the standpoint of, these towers of storms that are kind of going up here. Now, we're right around the radar site, like I said, and you see some pockets of pink here. And those are where we're going to see those heavier pockets of rain, but also you can't rule it out that you can see some small hail coming out of those storms. It's very interesting to note, again, when you saw that camera from Joyner, it was looking north. When you joined us here at 4:15 or so this morning, and we took that camera at 4:30, it was pitch black, the rain was coming down, you could tell that the winds was blowing. Now you can see the clearing line behind it. So again, very quickly behind this, we're going to start to see clearing on the backside of this. And guys, I want you to get 385 and I-40. I-40 and 385, this is going to be a TDOT camera. This is going to be out near Arlington. I want to get that camera over close to like Airline Road, somewhere in that area. I want to come out to that camera here in a couple minutes because I want to get an idea of what's going on in northeastern Shelby County. But again, when we're looking at this, again, in 3D mode, we can see a couple of these pink areas, and those pink areas give us at least some indication of where the strongest indications are in some of these storms. There's not that many, but I mean, this thing is putting down some rain, and I'll look back over here to the rain rates. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, you know, some of these rain rates are coming down extremely heavily. That's why we still have a couple flash flood warnings in effect. The rain is coming down. Now, this may be just instantaneous as I did this, but 7.5 inches an hour. I don't think it's going to rain 7.5 inches in just an hour's time. Obviously, this has got some motion with it moving down towards the south and east, but that's extremely heavy rain that's coming down and has already led up to some issues. Go back over to the rainfall totals. This is radar this morning, and take a look at some of these rainfall estimates. You have 6+ inches of rainfall in just 6 hours, and that's from that training effect of those storms. So you can see where the storms came and went, and we're just now starting to see them moving into Shelby County. As we go back over to the how hard it's raining mode again, you see the very heavy rainfall moving through there, moving into northern Shelby County. So let me know whenever you got that camera up. And actually, does anybody have control of the Midtown camera right now? They can easily move it. And y'all talk to me back there, because I want to turn the Midtown camera north. I want to turn the Midtown camera to the north, because we should be able to see the shelf cloud. And yeah, there we go. Go ahead and take the Midtown camera. All right, so let's take the Midtown camera. And what you're seeing there, this is the leading edge of that line of storm. So again, this is coming from 1960 Union. You're looking now northwestward. So that is looking at, you see Crosstown Concourse off in the distance here this morning. So right here at the bottom of the screen would be Madison and McLean. And then off in the distance you see Crosstown. And then behind that, you're heading back up towards North Memphis at that point, crossing I-40. So where that storm is currently located at, it's moving through North Haven and Fraser. So North Haven and Fraser. So we're going to see this thing come right on top of the camera here very shortly. As this batch, what we're looking at is this right here. Again, like I said, coming through North Haven, crossing 51 here very shortly. And I do still want to go out to Arlington here whenever you get that camera up, either 385 and I-40, or go out to the Fayette County, Shelby County line, somewhere in that general vicinity. I want to go out in that area as well. So that's going to be a TDOT camera. But again, what you saw there from the Best Care Home Services High 5 camera, that was the storm that's now moving into northern portions of the city of Memphis, moving into Fraser, moving into Raleigh, soon into Bartlett. And it will be moving into Mud Island and moving into New Chicago, Smoky City here very shortly. Again, all of North Memphis, 5-10 minutes. It's going to be on top of you. Midtown, downtown, I'd say 12 minutes, not very much longer after that. Just the way that this is moving, maybe even a shorter period of time than that. So we'll put that storm track again about 35 miles per hour down to the south and east. And like I said, give it 10 minutes, it's in downtown. So about 13 minutes, right on par for what I was just mentioning. So about 13 minutes into downtown Memphis. But if you're in Fraser, it's on top of you guys right now. If you're traveling along 51, we know we have a lot of folks who are heading up to the base this morning or coming back down south. Depending on, which way your commute is this morning, 51 is not great. 385 is not great. 40, once you get past Stage Road, not great. So it's going to be pretty messy out there for this morning commute. We figured about 6 o'clock it'd be on top of the metro area, and that's what we're dealing with. So again, this particular warning goes until 5:30 this morning. I want to check in with the Weather Service to see if they have any inklings of if they're going to issue this warning. And I think what they're going to do here is they're going to let this warning probably drop it at 5:30. So I want you guys to be prepared to start the 5:30 newscast. But I do want to go, I still want to go out and take a look at those cameras really quickly, because eventually those cameras are going to be critical and what we're going to see for the rest of the morning. Because once I get done with this, I got to go talk about traffic, and traffic's not going to be great. That's what I'm saying here this morning. And coming in, it's like most likely not going to issue downstream on this warning. So that's good news, but still, it is loud, it is heavy, it is nasty. This is not great for a morning commute. Now, will it be like this all day? No, it will not. And I want to go back out. I know we've been really harping on Shelby County here, but for my friends in Senatobia, Holly Springs, starting to see a little downpour just north of Victoria there, along Victoria Road, Red Banks Road, somewhere in that vicinity, just south of Sladen. Starting to see some rain moving into northern Tippah, Benton, and Alcorn counties. Not a drop from Clarksdale to Marks to Batesville to Oxford yet. All this is moving in your direction. So again, give it another 2 hours. It's in your backyard as well. So we're not done necessarily. I think we're at this point in time in the morning where we're starting to see the minimum of the daytime heating and everything finally starting to calm down. So again, we're coming out of the worst part of this, and yeah, it's not going to be great for the rest of the morning, but at least it won't be necessarily severe. Do you guys have that camera up? Just let me know back there. Okay, let's take the Midtown camera again. Either Midtown or downtown. Actually, take downtown. Look at the downtown camera. Because, again, okay, there we go. Best Care Home Services High Five camera. You see the M Bridge right there in the foreground. See the lightning popping off. And I think the shelf cloud's already passed here, or at least getting past here. So you see that fuzziness that's behind the M Bridge? That's rain. It's heavy. Yeah. It's coming, I would guess, very shortly, we're about to see the M Bridge disappear. Because that rain would be, right now, about a mile away from the M Bridge. It looks like the heaviest stuff is just now getting to the north end of Mud Island. So about a mile away or so, mile and a half away from making its way over this area. You can see the lightning popping off in the distance. I want to hold here on this camera because, again, this is going to give you an indication of what's going to be heading in your direction, because the rain, I think, is about to become the bigger issue. And again, we're going into a morning commute that's going to be very wet. It's going to be very messy. Go ahead and plan more time on your morning commute, because I can guarantee you there's going to be some instances of localized flooding. We just showed you the rainfall rates. Some of this rain was coming down 7.5 inches in an hour's time. Now, obviously, this is moving, so it's not going to dump 7.5 inches of rain, but it's trying to. The atmosphere is there. The moisture values in the atmosphere are high. And when I say high, I mean this is some high octane moisture that we're talking about here. This isn't your regular 87 octane. This is some 93. This is some super octane that we got going on here. What we call precipitable water values. Those values are over 2 inches here today. So if you were to squeeze out every square molecule of water in the atmosphere out over an area, it would dump 2 inches of rain over that specific area. So we're starting to see the rain now hit the camera, and the rain's about to come down. You see the wind now beginning to pick up. See the camera kind of bouncing up and down. Again, this part of the storm, technically not severe, but not going to be fun driving across the M Bridge this morning, or the Old Bridge for that matter. Definitely wouldn't want to be on the Old Bridge with those small lanes this morning, coming across there, even as this line's moving through. So again, you're seeing the camera bouncing up and down here as that line is now beginning to move into downtown Memphis, Mud Island as well. Let's come back over to the radar, and again, you're going to notice, again, the extremely heavy rainfall that's going to come along with this as well as the line's moving through here. Let's see here. Yeah, starting to see some issues of heavy rainfall and flooding concerns in northern Fayette County. So I want to give a heads up to you guys as well. Northern Fayette County starting to see some issues of heavy rainfall and causing some issues with some of the smaller bridges in the northern part of the county. So we're going to keep an eye on that.
We got more outages in Tipton County as well. Yeah, I was just going to say there are more outages in Tipton County, Tennessee, that Covington area, also just north of Mumford as well. Looking at the map here, more than 1,000 homes and businesses without power right now. This is, going up and down the Highway 51 corridor in Tipton County. Covington, Mumford, that area, there are some more outages. There's also more outages as we work to get the map up for you. This is the map in West Tennessee. There are more outages in that Jackson, Tennessee area, the Madison County area. But if you look there, again, the orange circles and the red circles mean more outages. Red, of course, means there's more outages in those areas. And looking at this map over the course of the last hour or so, because we've been on the air for more than an hour now talking about this severe thunderstorm warning that's moved into, and this storm system that's moved into from eastern Arkansas into West Tennessee. Lots of wind, lots of lightning, no rotation. That's good news, but certainly it is now finally moving into the Shelby County area, north of I-40. But again, as Patrick was mentioning, moving into some portions of downtown and northern parts of Shelby County. Again, there are some more outages, power outages in Tipton County and in Jackson, Tennessee, that Madison County area. Again, those were those circles that you see on the map right now in terms of utilities and what you're doing. Say one more time. Okay, flash flood warning for Tipton County, Tennessee, just issued now moments ago. So Tipton County dealing with a lot of severe weather this morning when it comes to flash flood warnings, lots of rain and power outages. As Patrick and I have been mentioning, it is going to be a wet and rainy commute on this Thursday morning. So if you have to go to work today, just budget some extra time here because the roads are going to be very slick and slippery, and you're going to want to take your time when you head off to work. Again, this is continuing coverage here on Action News 5. We've been on now for the better part of an hour talking about this severe weather system that is moving through our area. Let's send it back to Pat.
And they just went ahead and expired that severe thunderstorm warning. But I want to take a moment here. Yeah. Sheriff Shannon Beasley up in Tipton County, he just posted on Facebook about they're working a flash flood issue where a tractor trailer was inundated with water on Mount Carmel Road near Barnett Hall Road. So just so you guys know, I just sent it in our team's chat. So just so you know, we can get that picture. There's a pretty substantial amount of water moving across that area, and obviously a tractor trailer being involved in that. That's not going to be great here this morning. Of course, now we're dealing with flooding concerns here. As I mentioned, in some spots here, we've seen 6+ inches of rainfall in about 6 hours time. So when we go back over here to the rainfall rates, when you see that green area, obviously that's the flash flood warning that's currently in effect. See the city of Covington, 6 hours, we're talking 7.2 inches of rainfall. I mean, that's an amount of rain that, I said earlier, while we had rainfall rates of about that in an hour, at least this was moving. Remember, there was a point in time where this line of storms was not moving. It was just training over the same areas over and over for about 3 or 4 hours. So from Osceola to Covington down towards Mason, and again, I mentioned a few minutes ago, northern portions of Fayette County, they're having some issues with some of the roadways, some of the smaller bridges there. The creeks and tributaries starting to come up pretty quickly. So again, that's becoming an issue as well. So what we're going to do here, and let me know what you guys want to do, if you want to go to a break real quick, and then we come back to the newscast. But technically, the severe thunderstorm warning currently over here for Shelby County. Understand, this line's still got to move through. This is going to take some time. It's going to take a couple more hours to get through here. I know in Oxford and Clarksdale, you're tired of not getting anything for right now, but it's heading in your direction at this point. I know that you probably don't want to deal with anything. It's been a very active year in Lafayette County especially, and back up towards Marshall County too. But again, this is going to be a situation where we're going to have an active morning, where we're going to probably be dealing more so now with flood concerns. So as we transition from severe weather mode into flood concerns here this morning, Roadways are going to be high on mind. This is going to be a situation that as we go through the next couple of hours, we're going to probably have some issues of flash flooding that will emerge here as we head through the next couple of hours here, especially the I-40 corridor points southward. So again, Dyersburg, you're done. Northern Mississippi County, you're done. Poinsett County, you're done. Crockett County, you're done. I'd say also Lauderdale County, you're done as well. But again, southern Tipton County, we're almost done. It's really Cross, Mississippi, Crittenden, Shelby, Fayette, Hardeman, and McNairy counties, now moving into Alcorn, Tippah, and Benton counties in North Mississippi. And remember, all of this is moving down towards the south. All of this is going to take a little bit of time to do such. Time right now is 5:32, so just let me know what we want to do. Do we want to go into the newscast or do we want to go over to a break? What are we planning on doing here? All right, so what we're going to do here, we're going to take a short break. We'll come back and start our 5:30 newscast right here on Action News 5. We're still tracking the storms moving through the area, and we will have an update on all of this. Also, your First Alert Futurecast to see when it all comes and goes, and also see how hot the weekend is looking for coming up in just a few seconds. For the entire Action News 5 First Alert weather team, our First Alert meteorologist Patrick Ellis, again, coming back here in just a few minutes with the start of the 5:30 newscast on Action News 5.